Good evening. I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. I hope you've had a very happy Christmas, and I wish you all a Merry New Year. I've got a few things to say about His Majesty the King and his address to the nation and the Commonwealth today. First thing I want to say is under the late Majesty Elizabeth II, the monarchy was always just there. It was out of the way, and it basically was above and beyond politics, and it always was under her rule, her reign. That was the constitutional setup since the 1950s when the Majesty's reign started. In theory, the monarch's power is vast. In practice, it's never used. That's the dichotomy at the centre of the constitution in the United Kingdom. And this is what a lot of people have problems squaring the circle with. Because there's some people that would argue because the constitution of the UK is not defined, that the monarch has a larger role behind the scenes that we don't see. They're pulling the strings, they're in control, and we just don't know about it. You've got that camp of people. And then you've got the other camp of people on the other side, and they think that the monarch is completely powerless. I'm somewhere in between. I don't know which way it actually goes, and nobody does because the audience with the Prime Minister and the monarch each week, there's no minutes and nobody knows what's actually discussed. So that's the conundrum and that's the pickle that the monarch has to navigate. The public perception, as with most people, is likely not what is said behind closed doors. I think that's the point I would make on that particular point. This is the issue with the King. This is the issue with King Charles. Because of his long and storied history of interventions on subjects that we know he cares about, we can't say hand on heart that he's politically neutral because he isn't, because of his interventions when he was the Prince of Wales. And that makes the interventions today in the Christmas address more problematic. So that's what we want to get into first of all. First of all, there was this phrase. In this, with great diversity of our communities, we can find the strength to ensure right triumphs over wrong. A lot of people have taken umbrage with this to say, well, diversity isn't a strength, or what diversity are you referring to specifically, which I'll get into with a video clip in a minute or so. And then you've got the second one, which is a bit broader. As I meet people from different faiths, I find it enormously encouraging to hear how much we have in common, a shared longing for peace and a deep respect for all life. If we can find time in our journey through life to think on these virtues, we can make a future more hopeful. That's a nice thought. That is a nice idea. Unfortunately, the cynic in me tells me he can hope for a better world, he can hope for a better future for the country and the Commonwealth. We have to deal with the apples that we've been given. What do we know? We know that recently there was a foiled terrorist attack in Manchester. It was going to be the deadliest terror attack that was planned on the mainland in history, and it was thwarted. That doesn't signal to me that diversity is a strength. That doesn't signal to me that diversity is a virtue. And this is the issue that the monarch always has. He's got to cater to a broad audience. He's got to cater to the whole country and not just the liberal elites, because the liberal elites are the ones that would gladly get rid of the monarchy. And the patriots, the working class people, the people that pay the bills and actually have to get up at the alarm clock class, have to go up and earn a crust every day. These are the people that deal with the consequences of the open borders experiments and deal with the diversity that's been ripped on our faces from Tony Blair since 1997. So without further ado, I did say there was a clip, and this is the second issue with the diversity is our strength angle that the King plugged in the Christmas message. So I'm going to play the clip now.
Our strength is a propaganda phrase. What do we mean by our? Who do we mean by our? Diversity of what? Diversity of thought, diversity of background, of education. What kind of diversity are we talking about here? Diversity is our strength. Strength shown how? A diverse investment plan might make you more resilient. but it also might not make you any money. A diverse football team needs ideally some taller players, some quicker players, some left-footed, some right-footed, but they've all got to be good enough to get in the team. Yet we've arrived at a situation where our differences alone are somehow enough to unite us. We are united through difference.
So we'll leave that one there. We'll leave that one there. Now, the person in that video was Tom Sawbrick from LBC. He is a libtard, and he is part of the liberal chattering classes and the liberal elites. So the audience that originally would be on board with the diversity is our strength mantra and the propaganda phrase don't even buy into it or believe it themselves, lest of all the rest of the country. This is the big issue now. People have seen through it. And as Tom says in the clip, what diversity are you actually referring to? What diversity would the king be referring to? It's very vague, it's non-specific, and that in itself can be a problem. Now, I don't want to poo-poo on the king too much. Some people may hate the king, some people may love the king. I don't want to poo-poo on it too much, because he's in a no-win catch-22. He's damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't. There was some good stuff in the speech about the uniting of different denominations of the Christian faith on the back of his pilgrimage down to Vatican and Vatican City to pray with the newly elected Pope earlier this year. That was welcome, especially given the storied history of Protestants versus Catholics in the United Kingdom. So that was welcome, and maybe that's a call to reunite the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Maybe in 50, 100 years down the line, we can get the Republic back under the crown. That would be my Christmas wish. Well, on the flip side, we've got people online who have got a lot of respect for, like Basil the Great here. And there's a lot of people on the right that will take this mantra and attack the king. King Charles asking for us to unite with people who want to take over our country and make us a minority. That's his read on the situation. He's part of the problem. He's betrayed us all. We need a better king. And he made another post saying he's not fit to wear the crown. This is the issue. Because it's ill-defined, 100 people can read or watch that speech, and you can get 100 different interpretations from it. The advisors to the king and the advisors at Downing Street should, and I've said this quite a few times on my video now, the message is written by the king and his people. The people at Number 10 don't really have any input or say. They should have advised the monarch to tread very carefully, and they've not done this. This is a dereliction of duty by the elected to protect the unelected. Maybe that's what God Save the King means in a modern context. Your mileage may vary. You may think I'm being overly harsh with the king. You may think I'm being exceedingly polite with the king. I'll leave it for you good people to like, share and comment and let me know. But the biggest mistake was the diversity is our strength. I was always told if you can't say something good, don't say anything at all. Don't leave yourself in the firing line, and do not give your political enemies reason to come after you, especially if you're in an unelected position. Now, if you like this video, let me know. Enjoy your Christmas, and I'll see you in the next video.